So something really, really bad is happening in Vegas. As a matter of fact, it's so bad that we're breaking records here. We're at a point where we haven't had this many months of decline in the city since as far back as 2008. Month over month in 2025, we had less visitors in that month than we did the same month in 2024. We have to unpack all this with the new data that we just got from the LVCVA and from the airport. And we're going to talk about what's really happening in this town and how it might actually benefit you going forward as the hotels pivot and scramble to get your business back. So come with me as we walk around the New York over here by the old Tropicana site. We take a tour, see what's new in this sort of spring-summer rainstorm we have going on and brewing. And I give you the real skinny on what's happening in town. My name is Steven. I'm not leaving Las Vegas. The casinos don't like me very much because I tell you the truth. You deserve to know it. And I might be the only one out there not auditioning to be an influencer for one of the big properties. But like we say around these parts, before we get going, 1, 2, 3, and action. The biggest part and the biggest takeaway of all this is that this city has been taking advantage of people for a really, really long time. Making it so the only people that can afford to come here are the rich and wealthy folks. And all of that's about to change. We have some deals coming in, which we'll talk about later on in this video. The biggest thing that's the biggest shocker, and to understand what we're talking about, looking at the months from May of 2025 to May of 2024, is the sharp decline in visitorship that we've had. The numbers aren't good. Yeah, we had 3.42 million tourists that came to Vegas in May of 2025. That's a 6.5% decline from May of 2024. Something has shifted in people's pocketbooks. They're not spending the money that they thought they would. They're worried about the economy going forward. That's a huge drop in visitorship, and that's going to kind of come down to how people see the value in Vegas. I don't know if you guys saw it, but there was a video or something that went viral on social media about a $26 bottle of water from the minibar at the Aria. Now, to play devil's advocate on the side of the casinos, I guess when you go through the minibar, you're expected to pay huge prices, but $26 for a bottle of water. This is the same Aria property, by the way, which last year was busted for not comping a player a bottle of water at the sports book because he didn't put in a big enough bet. And there's this other clip at Resorts World right here, which shows a man who's making $25,000 bets on blackjack who was unable to get a margarita or a daiquiri or a smoothie or something like that. These are the kinds of things that are keeping people away from Vegas right now. The other kinds of things that suck about Vegas right now, by the way, are the fact that the Statue of Liberty right here doesn't have any water in it. The Statue of Liberty, the famed Statue of Liberty. MGM, as I've said in previous videos, has been diminishing the end user experience by replacing their water with AstroTurf. And when we get over to in front of the MGM Grand in a minute, you'll see it's not just this property, it's every property that doesn't have fountains and doesn't have the nice experience and feel it used to have. And although it kind of sounds impressive, 16.45 million people have come to Vegas for the first 5 months of the year, January, February, March, April, May. But that's actually a drop of 1.1 million people from the same period last year. So less people generates less revenues, unless you want to charge people more, which seems to be the route that the casinos are taking. But once again, that might be changing with all the specials and deals we'll talk about later on in the video. The next thing we have to talk about, though, is the traffic at Harry Reid Airport. That's where international departures and arrivals have taken a massive hit, and where we really see the tale of people who are flying in, not just regional drive-ins from places like California. So Harry Reid Airport, Harry Reid International, formerly McCarran International Airport. Do you guys approve of the name change? Do you think it's ridiculous? Should we just stop naming things after people at this point because everybody's getting cancel cultured? But Harry Reid Airport saw a decline of 3.9% for people using the airport coming in and arriving for flights. They did have... There's people behind me, and every time I'm out here, I think that somebody's stealing from me, so I'm in their selfie now. Give me a subscription if you guys like. We deal with all this kind of stuff all the time. It's okay. I mean, you okay with that? You're in my YouTube video. You okay?
Oh, yeah. That's fine.
All right, cool. So he's in there. Subscribe for him. Harry Reid, yeah, they saw a 3.9% decline. Overall drive traffic, highways, people coming from California, Arizona, that kind of stuff, down 0.7%. And the big one, though, was California overall. Even the Californians are not coming to Vegas anymore. You know, a 5% decline from people coming in from California. They might be staying at home, doing their thing. You know, there's other casinos in a lot of places. And I'm curious oftentimes, as you watching this video, to know, are you actually just going to other places? Are you going to other casinos? Is there a replacement for Vegas? Tell me in the comments below. But signs of slumps are all over the place. We do have our hotel stays, all of these rooms. How did they do? Well, they didn't do too good, let me tell you that. The Strip itself was 85.3%. Downtown was only 74.8% occupancy. And citywide, every hotel room was down 3.1% overall weighted. And then we get to the actual average room rates, which took a dip, finally. This is where your relief might be coming in. This is why you need to pay attention and book with travel insurance, because you don't want to be in an F1 situation. Let me explain that F1 situation and why you need travel insurance. Because if these continue to drop, a lot of you guys are going to have some serious buyer's remorse here. But that's what I'm talking about. Look at the MGM Lion behind me. This is one of the most famous landmarks that really defines the MGM Grand Corporation as a whole. And there's no water. They drain the water. Now, I hope they fill it up again soon, but if it's anything like the New York and other properties, the water feature's gone. And that's really a shame. So what about that travel insurance? Why do you need that? Let me explain why that might be paramount so you don't feel burned later on this summer when you actually do get to stay in town. Yeah, the Strip has dropped. It's $212 on average in May, whereas just a few months ago, the Strip was selling for $298 per night. Downtown is even crazier in terms of drops. $109 per room night in May on average, meaning that it's down 12%. This means that if you do come here and you book a vacation now, like normal people do several months out, you better have travel insurance on the website that you use. If you're using American Express cards, I think they actually have this built in, but if you don't, you won't be able to simply cancel your reservation. You see, F1 taught us something very interesting in the first year. It's that people will buy hype for big events and pay big for the rooms. F1 had Circus rooms selling for $800 several months before when it was announced, only to drop to $120 per night the week of. So always plan ahead and book your rooms, but make sure you can get out of those rooms and get your money back. Speaking of getting money back, how did these hotels do in terms of revenue? Downtown was down 11% in gaming revenue, which means that people are going downtown less and they're gaming less. Whereas on the channel, and most YouTubers have been putting forth a message that, oh yeah, downtown's where it's at, look how busy downtown is. It may just be an optical illusion. I mean, heck, look, if you cram in a small amount of people into one street with no cars, it does look a lot more full than when you're walking around on the main Las Vegas Strip and you have all this concrete to cover. Baccarat is also down, meaning that people who are playing high roller type games are just not showing up as much anymore. And as these revenues decline, again, we've explained on the channel before that this puts the city in jeopardy of missing tax revenue that helps fund everything, which could potentially drive people out of the city. But we're a long ways off from that. Or are we? Because these casinos have something in play to try to win you back. And for locals, they even have something for you too. Something we haven't seen since the recession back in 2008. I just screwed myself because there's a wall here and I gotta walk into traffic. If there's ever a call to action, because I do dangerous, boneheaded stuff here, be sure to subscribe. So the deals in Vegas are so numerous and all over the place, I actually have to read them off of my phone to you. Basically everything from deals downtown at the Plaza Hotel to properties on the Strip erasing their resort fees entirely and even opening up for free parking. It seems like the nickeling and the diming might be coming to an end. The Plaza Hotel downtown has all-inclusive deals where you can get your rooms, meals, and drinks and no resort fees for an inclusive price every single night. And then we also have similar deals at the Circa Las Vegas and the Stratosphere, also starting rooms at $49 on the weekdays and $99 on the weekends with dining credits included. Now, of course, these also involve your arch nemesis, the resort fee. So, don't be so shocked when you have to pay a little bit extra. And a lot of these include parking and things such as this too. But fees are being rolled back as well with Resorts World on the north end of the Strip being so brazen and bold as to get rid of their resort fees through the summer, as well as open up their parking for free at no cost to all players of all different levels, and even people that don't gamble in the casinos. Now, we also have a locals push happening in the city, with locals being courted by the casinos. Back in the day, this was a thing, and it was a big thing. I'll tell you, during 2008, 2009, we ate half-price buffets at the Rio almost constantly. Of course, the Rio no longer has their buffet, but it was a good reason for my wife and I to go on a diet when the economy got better, I'll tell you that much. As well as, places in 2008, 2009 doing locals. Right now, we have locals pushes called Locals Unlocked for different various resorts across the valley. So just hit that one up in Google. There really is a reason to come to Vegas, even if you're thinking that it's someplace you can't afford. It probably is, but you just have to go deep and look for those deals. Ultimately, though, that's nice, right? What happens after the summer? What happens after the summer has a lot less to do with Vegas than the stock market and politicians. But let's just play this out for a minute. How good could it possibly get? So let's say these things play out over the summer and we have all of these deals going on, and heck, maybe pray tell one of these properties central to the Strip other than Resorts World decides that they're going to be the ones who lower the resort fees, maybe even just cut them in half. Suddenly there are deals falling all over the city. What does that mean for you? It means that you're going to have some great travel deals, but what's going to happen next will depend on a number of factors. It's going to depend on the economy. It's going to depend on tariffs, inflation rates, interest rate cuts, things that are super high-level Wall Street that you and I have zero control over. But if things continue to trend downward, the casinos will just cut into their own profits until they start to trend up again, which means that you're probably in a good place, but it goes right back to the exact same reason that what you really, really need is to book your stays with travel insurance. And look, I'm not an advocate for any one particular company. I don't have a special link for you to use. I just ask you to subscribe to these videos if you got some kind of value out of them. But at the end of the day, you want to book on a site that offers insurance. The $30 you might pay extra for your entire reservation on your hotel room stay could lead to hundreds of dollars of savings for you down the line. So just book intelligently and know that the deals are opening up more and more, and you need to stay subscribed to channels like this one so you can get those deals and know what's really happening in this city. My name is Steven. I'm not leaving Las Vegas, and before we do leave, I want to say a super special thanks to our Patreon audience. You can see them right here on the video. These people here back us and allow us to create more content for you on a weekly basis. They also get extra content of their own. I just posted up a 32-minute long nighttime walk and commentary on the Las Vegas Strip in 4K cinematic, 24 frames per second. And my next walk like that's going to be an anamorphic widescreen. You get your name in the credits, you get extra content every single month being on Patreon, so check it out. And if you're just browsing through, make sure you like, share, subscribe, and come back. We do live streams on Fridays, Saturdays, and Monday evenings to show you the real deal here in town. And while you're at it, you'll see an extra video next to my head. Make sure you go ahead and click that, and you can get my economic playlist here in Vegas, where I've been talking about this stuff for about 4 or 5 months, but people are finally starting to listen. You're the best part of my day. I thank you guys for watching. My name is Steven. I'm not leaving Las Vegas. Now's when we look at the camera and we say 3, 2, 1, click. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1, and click!